Okay, hi everyone. So I'm back again, and I just came to tell y'all that, oh yeah, to go into the next story about like the new guy, but the guy that I was in a on and off 3 year relationship with. Not really a relationship, but more like how people would say a karmic relationship is. And like a relationship that is not good for you or the other person, like y'all just not good for each other, y'all do not match, and it's just like a trauma bond. It's just y'all just bond with trauma together and stuff, and trauma with that y'all create new within the relationship within yourselves that damages each other and stuff. And disclaimer, and just let you know, like I don't feel like a victim, and I don't have victim mentality. It's just me just having an outlet to express everything that ever happened to me, and just letting it all out, which I need to do. And I feel my spirit calling me to do this, so I'm doing this so I can be light, and I can live life. So this 3 year on and off relationship, go watch my other video that I have posted, and it'll match this timeline up perfectly to how my life is now. So this 3 year relationship on and off, boy, guy, whatever, ended up after he seen like the guy that I rejected and cut off, like I said I was done with. He popped up and showed up at my place, which was unbeknownst. That's why also you should be mindful of watching date people online or trying to go on dating sites, because some people are stalkers. Don't give out your phone number. Don't let them know your place, because they might try to pop up at your place and try to like control you or try to, you know what I'm saying. You never know what could happen. You know what I'm saying. So yeah. So the guy that seen the guy that I rejected, and the guy that I rejected walked off and stuff. So yeah, what ended up happening after that was, we ended up continuing to be physical. Really, I don't remember there ever being like a commitment. Really, I guess eventually they became one where I guess we agreed upon it, but the relationship never felt like as a relationship should. He had just came out of like a relationship of 3 years and with an ex, and he was so hung up on her and all his other exes. Red flag. If a dude is hung up on his ex or his exes, then he don't have time for you. He don't have the emotional availability, the maturity, nor the mental capacity or the emotional capacity, if I have not already said that. Spiritual, definitely not, to engage with me or support me any type of way or be there for me any type of way. And so I dealt with like the baggage and the depression and all the shit he was going through, and yeah, and I dealt with like, a lot of traumatic shit. So he was like trauma bonding with me, and I ended up like trauma bonding with him. It became like a bond, and no bond should be like that when it comes to a relationship. It should be something of of goodness, something that's secure, that's not unstable and rocky and all that other stuff. So yeah, and I had my own place around this time back in like 2019, because this is when it happened. And I had my own place. I was, getting my rent paid, my utilities paid, everything covered. I was going to school and everything, and which I should have just focused on that. But again, I was looking for companionship. I was looking for company. I was looking for somebody to talk to. But men nowadays, like they want to hook up eventually, just period. Like that's not something that you could stop. But the way certain males go about it though is wrong. Not all men are bad, but I've just been attracting or coming across the wrong ones without knowing, because I had to take time to go through those experiences to learn myself and learn what I like and what I don't like. And this person, the 3-year guy I was on and off with, he knew everything that the guy who took my virginity without my consent did. So what he ended up doing is doing that. He ended up, um, going in and doing the same exact thing. Like, he got physical with me also without my consent, and it kept continuing. And I thought, like, it was normal and stuff like that, but honestly, looking back, like, it wasn't, and I never really consented to it. I've had a lot of people like him even say, oh, I shouldn't open up my legs. I've had like close people in my family say, oh, I shouldn't open up my legs and all that type of stuff, which I find very insensitive, because it doesn't matter if I like open up my legs or not. Like, we don't really know if you weren't really there, and he was there and he knew what happened and stuff like that. So to this day, I don't feel like I willingly opened up my legs, and from what I can remember, I was trying to like push him off. I couldn't even push the guy who I rejected, who did it the first time, do it. So I couldn't push him off, so it just happened. I tried to push this dude off, he wouldn't allow it, and before that even happened, he went down on me, and I didn't even consent to that. But when after that happened, that first time, I shouldn't allowed it to get that far to him actually, getting physical with me without my consent, because I didn't really consent to it. It's not really like I really liked him or really even knew him to even begin with. So why was he expecting sex from me? Why was he expecting that from me? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that's how men on dating apps are, just men in general. It don't have to be every male, it don't have to be every man. But the ones that are douchebags, the ones that are kind of like, oh, mommy's boys, or they grew up always being spoiled in the wrong way, and they feel entitled to just any woman, or to treat any woman kind of way that isn't their mom, or that isn't their sisters, or any other female that they really care for, aunties, or you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but back to the story is like, so he was still hung up on the ex that he just got out of a 3-year relationship with, and he was hung up on these other past exes that I didn't know anything about. And then I started to realize that this looked just like triangulation. It just seems like you're just able to have them on your leash, on your hand and stuff. So you never really had a chance to even really know how to respect a woman and stuff. And it's just, it just is what it is. After that, it's like, during all that time that he was still texting his exes at like booty call hours and all that type of stuff, like, he was like still like, we're still doing like intimacy or like physical stuff together, that I ended up eventually like getting pregnant and stuff like that. And all throughout that, he was still texting his exes and stuff. But it was just like so crazy and wild, like just some crazy stupid stuff. I ended up getting pregnant, and when I found out I was pregnant, he literally ended up like abusing me and attacking me and left me with bruises while pregnant. So my whole pregnancy, my first pregnancy with my first like child, which was my son, was like very miserable. Like, I wasn't able to really enjoy my pregnancy at all, and but I didn't allow it to change how I felt about my child. And I feel like anybody who goes through like a domestic violence relationship or whatever, it like ends up like affecting them, especially if they are raped and they end up getting like pregnant by the person who raped them. It was easier with the first one to get over it because I didn't get pregnant by that person, but this person I did get pregnant by, and they seen me go through, or they know of it, and they went ahead and did the same thing and quadruple worse. Like, but there are people like that who are evil, or they just don't care. he was going through his own trauma. So it's like, why inflict your trauma that you're going through onto me, and also give me new trauma that I'm gonna have to work through and heal from. Like, I find it very like selfish and stuff. But I should have been selfish enough to know, like, hey, this person's going through too much, and I need to leave them to themselves to get it fixed. Because you'll go around helping people, they didn't even ask for your help or whatever, but in their mind and in their head, like, you'll go around helping people, and they'll be like quick to say, oh, I didn't ask you to do that, I didn't tell you to do that. But it's like you still help them regardless, and you helped them, you helped this guy, and then what he ends up doing, oh, he gets up now, and now he's talking down to you, saying, oh, you this, or you don't do this, you ain't that, you don't got money, you don't got a job, you don't do nothing, you're not productive. But yet, they're productive enough, he's productive enough to go get you pregnant and stuff, and not really want you nor the kid really. It's just more so as like a control tactic or mechanism and stuff. And it's really just sickening and really low of a person to do something like that. But it is what it is. So he ended up getting me pregnant. It was on and off. There was constant times of me like kicking him out of my place and stuff, which I should have never let him in. So don't let men into your place if you're just now knowing them. I don't care if you've known them for so long. Make sure you're taking you out on a couple damn dates or something, Not just straight to the house. If we just straight to the house, it's straight to the bed. That's how men are. So it's kind of like not all men, but some men can be like that. Some boys can be like that. So just be mindful. Abuse kept going on. Like the first time I think that it happened, he had knocked me out. Like he had took my body, he had body slammed me. So he took my body while I was like in a dress or whatever. Cause I think I had caught on him, cause he was like in my house just eating up all my food. He'll be quick to say like I didn't have food when he came around, and he bought a little something, he provided this. But it's like he's the type of person, like he has that energy signature, like, yo, if like this person is down on their bad and their luck, I'm just gonna come in and save the day just so I could take credit and have recognition. I can make them look bad like they needed me when I never needed him, and I would never need nobody. Because it's like all you ever need is yourself, and know to balance out energies with other people and as far as relationships and stuff goes, whether platonic, family, whatever, whoever it may be. But I started to get back up where I got my food situation together. It's like everything that I brought in, he would eat up, and then he would have his friends around there like eating up my stuff as well. So it's like, don't even allow him to bring your friends to your house, because it's like, did I even like really, am I really even comfortable with you being here? Why would I be comfortable with your friends being here? So it's like, that had happened, and I wasn't even comfortable with that. His friends would talk like a lot of stuff about me to him, saying just give it up or just let it go, leave me alone, and all that, or I'm issue, I'm problem, or I'm crazy or something like that. But it's like, you in my place, sneak this in, talking all this stuff behind my back, in my place, not in your own place, not in your own friend's place. But you allowing that stuff to go on and stuff. And it's like, I do not like guys who are so much buddy with their friends to the point it comes off as if it's like a gay relationship or something. And this is nothing against gay people or anything like that. Trans, all respect to you all. But it's like this dude, like literally, like I'm pregnant and I was growing with my son and stuff. And it's like, you're out here constantly with your friends, but I'm stuck at home cleaning like the house all by myself, and I'm pregnant and stuff. And then you're, with the baby and stuff, and pregnancy, it was kind of hard to kind of keep up with the house every now and then. But I got back onto it. But it's like he wasn't hiding or helping me with it at all, and it was just like ridiculous. How constantly, like almost every day of the week, he wasn't working at all. He wasn't really providing. We'd always end up going to like the little gas station, Dollar Tree, the cheapest, the bare minimum, hit stores and stuff just to get like one little entree, one bag of fries. We split that, eat that. That's all we eat. But it's like when I brought food around and stuff, like we ain't eating meals, we're eating frozen meals. If we're eating a meal and we sharing, it's a frozen meal. It's enough for like maybe 2 people, but we're sharing meals, sharing. Like he loves sharing a lot and all that. Like I don't like doing that. Like if you want a woman and you're ready to date and stuff, you better be able to, when we go out or when we go shopping, if grocery shopping, there's enough for both of us for an individual plate of for an individual person. Not us sharing, like, you know what I'm saying? And he knows, like, you know how people can see that you want only the best for yourself and you want good stuff, you want luxury and stuff. So they come in your life to be everything but that. And then and if they do be that, they want that you to wait on their time to be that, or for that to come into fruition. And it's like, no. When are you finally gonna grow up, Peter Pan? When are you finally gonna have yourself together? But you know, I don't gotta even attach myself to this individual. Like I could just let him go, and I'm back in my paradise land. I'm back in paradise. You know what I'm saying? So fast forward to like me being alone for majority of my pregnancy and stuff. I had faced like eviction, or not really eviction, but I had to move from my old place, my old apartment, because the baby was about to come. So I'm like, I was sharing like a 4x4, and I was in one of the rooms and stuff, and I had to share like the laundromat, like the laundry and dryer was out in the living room, the common area, and we had to share that. And I didn't like the sharing and the cooking, sharing the cook and all that type of stuff. Roommates, people always in my face, people always seeing what I'm doing. Like I did not like that. I love privacy, and so I had to get out of that situation. So you know, I could have hit up my mom, my sister, other people. But it's like I don't really have like a tight knit support group like that, to the point like, oh, if I have this elaborate idea, I'm not gonna get people like close to me to just jump for me for that, unless it's something mundane with school or something that they feel like actually makes sense to them. That's the only way that'll work. If it's something like moving to a new place because I feel comfortable there, there's a baby, it was like a battle. I had to like, not even like fight, but like it had to be like a mental war and like a verbal war, like in a respectable sense, with trying to go to like a one apartment and stuff. So I ended up hitting him back up, you know, and he helped me, you know, with getting my stuff into U-Haul, getting my stuff into a storage and stuff. But, you know, we got to a hotel. Mind you, I'm paying for the U-Haul and the storage. He's not paying for anything. He's just helping me transport all my stuff, lift all my stuff up and everything. But he did that, and then I paid for like the little motel. It wasn't a hotel, it was a motel. And I paid for the motel like up into like 500 to 1,000 down like amount of dollars just for us to down stay there. And he felt entitled to stay there with me. He could have went home to his mama. He could have went home anywhere to another woman, whoever, just somebody. But he felt entitled, and he just wanted to aggravate me and pester me and annoy me. Like you can tell people who love to stress you out because they don't want to see you succeed. Like, and if they see you succeed, they just don't want to see you succeed higher than them. So it's like it was very sick that I had to like stay kind of trapped and confined with him in the hotel for like however many days. I was like probably a couple damn weeks, 2 to 3 weeks of me paying until like I ran out of money, and I had no other choice but to hit up my sister and just leave the domestic violence situation, a very abusive situation that was very toxic and wasn't healthy for me at all, especially not me while being pregnant. So what ended up happening was, from there, while at the hotel, before like after coming to the hotel and after dropping everything off, it up I don't consider none of these moments arguments where I ended up getting physically abused and hit and body slammed and punched, slapped by this man and shit. I consider it like, you know, women, they have concerns. There's things that happen. And like, as being a woman in a partnership or in a relationship, you should be able to come to your partner and be like, oh, well, I don't like so-and-so and such a thing that you did. Why you gonna get mad about it? Why you gonna get so mad that you're like, you know, cussing me out, calling me all types of names, calling me, you know, a hoe, I'm this, I'm that, all this type of stuff. But it's like, you're benefiting off of me though. And I'm supposed to be okay with you benefiting off of me still standing up in here in this motel that I paid for and been paying for all these couple weeks just for you to like us. I bring up this concern about these exes and just all this overall stuff or breaking up with him. I'm done with them. I don't want nothing to do with him. So he felt entitled to, he slapped me like 3 times across my freaking face, like upside my head. I think it was like this side, and my head like started swelling up and shit. And I just sat like, I think I was so in shock and so not even fear, but more in shock that I just didn't know what the fuck to do. It's like I felt compelled to call the police or reach out for help and stuff, but it's like I guess the trauma bond was very damn strong that it's like I still felt like love for my abuser. Like, why would I love my abuser? Why would I have kids with my abuser? You know what I'm saying? Like, so to this day, it kind of doesn't set right with me that I had kids with my abuser and I kept the child, because it's like, you know, that's a lot to take. You know, I was raped by him. He knew I was raped by another dude, but he gonna rape me, do the same thing that this other dude did, and I'm supposed to be okay with, you know, keeping the child and stuff. Cause I was asked by my mother like what I'm gonna do about it, but I didn't know what to do about it because I was so caught up in my feelings about my abuser and stuff, and also like how I feel about keeping a child from my abuser. And it's like, you know, it's a lot. It's not even really one to judge anybody on or be judgmental to somebody about. But yeah, so I ended up keeping the baby because like I had a lot of people in my ear during this time. A lot of stuff was going on. Just like dude really like stressed me out. He didn't provide me with nothing. He didn't provide, nor did he protect me at all during the 3 years on and off. It was like literal hell, and it was continuous. It was, you know, he would show good images of himself, then show bad images of himself. And it's like, you know, it's like he literally hated me and stuff. And it was like he was taking out his trauma on me and making me have to struggle and be around him while he was going through all his trauma and his breakup and all the bad stuff that happened to him, and saying, you know, his ex was crazy and stuff, but obviously ended up being the crazy one. Because there's a lot of this story to even tell, to be honest, and it's just crazy. It's just wild. It's too much. It is very well too much. So after that, I think I ended up finally leaving him at the motel. After eventually I knew my money wasn't being involved, I left him there at the motel, and he was struggling to get like get the money to continue to pay for this motel and stuff. So I think eventually he ended up leaving the motel. But it's like that right there just shows to tell you like misery loves company. You know, it don't matter if other people are not miserable. You know, they just want, you know, miserable people just want to get the unmiserable people behind closed doors. They just gonna leash. It's like I became like his therapy doll. And I'm not a therapy dog for nobody. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, also what happened while I was there, I think after he slapped me upside the head 3 times, I think a day, 2 after that, or 3, or the next week after that, he literally ended up snatching my phone, in the middle of everything, snatching my phone. And, I think going on my OnlyFans, and he literally like took the money from my OnlyFans and brought it to his account some type of way. In the end, I was able to get the money back, but I knew what he had did because I could tell. He changed my account name, my W-2, where he put your information, everything. He had literally like took his name, erased my name, and put his name on there. And I knew because I was chatting with the help people in the email, and it said his name on there. His name's not supposed to be on there, so that's what had to happen. Tell me if I'm wrong, like in the comments or whatever, but like that had to be what had happened. So it's like, you know, from abusing and using me, you know, because he had stayed with me in the apartment where he body slammed me, he lived there rent free, didn't have to pay no rent, didn't have to pay no utilities, didn't have to buy no food, none of that. I had all that, you know? And he was never really a good person. Neither was the other guy who raped me the first time and the second guy who raped me. Like, they're not good people. Like, I just made them good because that's how I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see these people as good because that's how I see myself. But these people are not good, so it's like I've been put in life, or I went through these lessons in life to experience like, hey, the world ain't easy, the world ain't fair, and everybody ain't gonna be nice, and everybody don't really truly like you, and everybody don't want to see it out good for you. But this guy, like, back to the way he snatched my phone, and when, like, you know, I was talking about him about his exes and this still talking these exes while trying to start something new with me, and I'm being pregnant and all that. He gonna snatch my phone from me and stuff, and he would not let me have it. He said like, oh, if I touch you, is this gonna happen or that gonna happen? It was like he was such in a rage. Like, if he wanted to choke me or harm me really bad, he could have. So I just allowed him to have the phone, but I was like, that's so ridiculous and childish, because he constantly brought up in his trauma. Oh, my ex did this, or my ex was cheating on me, I mean, maybe she didn't feel safe around you, or maybe she didn't feel like you was equipped with everything that she ever wanted. But hey, that's tough too. Things happen, right? So it's like, you know, just cause, you know, and he ended up looking through her phone and looking through her stuff and shit like that. So it's like, I started learning more and more about the story as it unfolded, with him putting me through his trauma and stuff, which I didn't deserve at all. So after all that, what ended up happening, me pass over that, is like, I think I ended up like confessing to my sister about everything that happened, and then we ended up going like through the whole police thing, and everything with that got involved. And this type of person and this type of individual is like very conniving, very slick, very sly, tries to be at least. So it's like I was going to end up as charges against this person, just in this person out of my life, even with after the baby, and like, or not after having the baby, but like after getting pregnant and now having an unborn child inside of me. I was like, you know, I was very vulnerable and weak, and that's what happens with men on dating apps. May not be all, but they prey on women because they know women are probably weak and vulnerable, or you know, they'll be open to give them the cookie quicker or fastest. You know what I'm saying? Because their mom's not here, or their mom's gone, or they're pregnant, or you know, they've been through some fucked up situations. It don't seem like they've been through good, so they think that you weak enough to allow them to do the same shit that somebody else done did. So it's like, you know, but yeah, ended up somehow we got back together, came around each other, and what is it? He ended up persuading me into dropping the charges, saying everything would change, he'd never put his hands on me again, all that type of stuff. My silly dumbass, I gave into that, and like literally, like honestly, it got worse, because now you can say he didn't help me finally move into my new apartment, or the apartment that you could say I'm currently living in right now. It was my sister who helped me out with that, which she was very tired. She had her own life, like, you know, I'm older now, so she has her own life. She don't really want to be fooled up with me, you know, with stuff that I gotta do. It's like more so she looking up to me to be the one to have it all together on my own. But she helped me move myself along with my brother and stuff. And my mom, she wasn't really having it, but she kind of was indecisive, and she wouldn't just tell me straight up, I don't want to do it. It was kind of like in and out. So nobody didn't really want to help me. It didn't seem like, but eventually they just gave in and helped, which I'm glad for. And so they did that, and I moved into my new apartment, and they vowed and told me, just don't even let him know where you at, don't even let him know where you live. But I had already let him know, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And so after all that, not only did I tell him, I told him, but he didn't know exactly where I lived. And the process of the charges getting dropped, I think he started texting me on Twitter, or I started texting him. I'm not really sure what happened. But this is where it gets so energetically spooky, because it's like he started emailing me out of nowhere, texting me out of nowhere. He would cross my mind. He was trying to get in my mind, my thoughts, my dreams, everything, like harassing me, spiritually harassing me, just so I could get back with him and shit. Like, once I get back with him, that stuff would stop. It wouldn't be no weird shit happening. He would harass me, spam me, like stalk me, be watching me and shit. He'll constantly blow up, spam up my pages with likes and shit, but you know that kind of like bans or shadow bans you and stuff. Like, I don't need that. Like, trying to slow down my business, my content, my websites, everything. I tell you. And before all that had even happened, it was more so what led up to it. So he knew where I live, because he ended up coming over after he played basketball with one of his friends and stuff. And literally, what happened even after that, I think we ended up being intimate and stuff, physical and stuff. And after that, it's like he knew where I lived and stuff. He led on for so long. I'm gonna get a job. I'm gonna help you with the bills. I'm gonna be this person, this nice charming yarn, like too much of a charmer, trying to be a charmer and charm me and stuff, and wasn't doing nothing. You know, so he just pretty much basically used me to as a place to just rest and lay his head, so he wouldn't have to live with his mom, so he wouldn't have to hear his mom just tell him literally just to get off his ass and just work. Which I ended up telling him to do that also. And so, you know, it just is what it is type stuff, you know. Things happen, and yeah, we would get into a lot of, like, he would say arguments, but I would say like concerns. Like, we're just in this apartment that I'm in right now, just eating snacks from like the gas station and all types of stuff, like barely eating, and I was pregnant. Like, come on now, like, it was ridiculous. It was miserable. I was so miserable my first pregnancy. Like, any other pregnancies I have from here on out, I deserve to have the most positive one, the most luxurious one, like a big baby shower and everything. I deserve, like, you know, the best. I deserve the best in a partner, because I want to be the best for myself moving forward. And so, yeah. What else could I like really say and talk about? Let me try to refresh my memory on where I left off. But it was barely heating up in here. I would get into a lot of concernments with him. It was kind of always on his time when he wanted it. If I didn't want to do what he wanted to do, he wasn't going to do anything else for the rest of the day or anything for me at all. He would run off a lot. He would try to make me the chaser and run after him. He would be in and out of my house. He'll constantly say, oh, I kicked him out of my house, but he'll be in and out of my house. He would stand up for hours and just, you know, degrade me, humiliate me, talk bad about me loud so other people can hear in the other apartments, the neighbors and stuff. It was just like a lot of stuff that he did. He would walk out of my apartment. I could lock my door or whatever, and then he'll come back, you know what I'm saying? Whenever he felt like it. He even ran off with my house key once, my apartment key, and called me a bitch, called me like all these like very just, you know, derogatory names and stuff, and made me run after him while pregnant. And he even made me run from my house while pregnant. We had got another concernment, and we could start saying concernment, and he started taking every little thing that I say personal, because he was still broken hearted and damaged from his past relationship. He said he should have gave his ex a baby, you know, the ex that he left, and he was now with me, and I guess trying to start anew. But he put on a persona of fake, just frauding. He's a fraud, and you know that he was ready for something new. We wasn't ready for nothing new. He wasn't ready for anything at all. He needed to be in hermit mode, to himself, learning himself more, and accepting things that happened for what it was, and moving and trying to move on before he moved on with with somebody else, me. So it's like, it wasn't cool, it wasn't safe, it wasn't good. But one night, like during a concernment where I was trying to speak out my concerns and saying I'm tired of receiving the bare minimum, I was just basically standing up for myself. He got so mad he like kicked out my freaking windows, 3 of my windows in my apartment. Yeah. He kicked out like 2 big massive windows, like the bedroom window, and he kicked out the living room window. Yeah. Up in the front where the property manager, like the people who run the maintenance people can see it and stuff like that. It was just so crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. But what I did when he kicked out the back window, like the bedroom window and the front window, I ended up I felt like my baby was like helping me, because my baby helped me like get into like how fight or flight mode in psychology. And this is why I want to be a psychologist. Like I wanted to be a therapist, but like the highest tier that I would go is like a psychologist, because I like so fascinated with the mind and why people do things like this or things in general. So my baby was in my belly and I was really big, about to give birth around this time. And so what ended up happening was I ended up running out the door. Someone told me, run out the door. Guess my intuition, my baby, whatever. And I just ran out the door. I ran to the sheriff's office, honestly. And the way I ended up, I stayed at the sheriff's office with the sheriff up until they went over there and they talked to him. And pretty much, since I wasn't there to say my side of it, but I didn't even want to go back that night, because as you know, like hearing glass shattering, that's very traumatic. And for somebody who just couldn't control you no more, use and abuse you no more, and just have their way with you no more, and you're no longer a fool and you see through their mask, so they're just gonna destroy your stuff. Because he said like, oh well, while he's destroying my windows, he's like, you should pay for this, you should have something to pay for, you should have to pay, because he know my stuff is covered and stuff, and everything. So he was jealous because he wanted to be me. He wanted to have the life. He wanted to have the things that I have, to be able to have his own place and not have to hear his mom nag all day for stuff that he should already know what to do and how to be doing it, and not live with his mom to begin with. That's one his fault. That wasn't something that I was supposed to uphold. Shelter, food, washing his clothes, feeding, cooking, and all that. I wasn't supposed to uphold that at all. I don't have to. It's not necessary. It's not an obligation of mine. So I'm not his mom. But I don't get how guys grow up and like they have bad situations or relations with their mom, and they end up hating their mom. So then they grow up hating women, and any woman they come in contact with, or if other women hurt them as well, they take all that energy out from their moms onto these women and these exes and stuff. Like, we don't got nothing to do with that. Like, we shouldn't be taking that, So yeah, I'm glad I'm getting all this off my chest. So since I wasn't there, I actually ended up going to the hospital, because that same night, before I even ran out the house, the big long internet cable cord, extension cord, he literally ended up tossing that big old thing at my fucking head, like at my head. And so I had like a scar like on my head and stuff, and I just wanted to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital, or they called for the paramedic for me while I was at the sheriff's office still. And I decided to go just so I could check on my baby, just to check to make sure that I'm okay. And I couldn't believe he first kicked out my windows, but I was jealousy and animosity, because you want me to be in the same state that you are in. Like, his mom wasn't helping him, nobody was helping him, because he set himself up for failure, pretty much. Some people, like, I guess his mom would say, or people would say around him, like, oh, he just runs after the wrong girls. But no, it doesn't matter what the girl did, in a sense, to some degree it may, but it's like, you're the bigger person in the situation. You could leave. Nobody was holding him hostage in that. So he allowed himself to stay in that, and then his mom gave up on him, didn't have faith in him and stuff, and kind of left him to be out on the streets or be homeless. But luckily he had friends. This is where it ties into his friends. He stayed with his friends and paid bills. He didn't pay no bills over there with me and stuff, really, like that. But he paid bills with his friends to stay over there. But he in front of your friends and you bring your friends over here and they think, oh, you up now. Nah, this is my place. This is my food that they're eating off of and all that type of stuff that I never gave consent to even allow that to happen. So, you know what I'm saying? But I gave consent by allowing them in, you know what I'm saying, and allowing it to continually happen. So now it's like I know better. So, you know, I doubt that would ever happen again. And, yeah, what else do I have to even say in regards to this? So he ended up moving out of, like, his friends because their lease was about to be up and they was about to go and he wasn't gonna have none. So he used me as an outlet, as Captain Save. Like, I save you and all that. I'm not supposed to be saving no man. If his mom couldn't even save him, then I shouldn't try to save him either. If his dad left him, it should be quick and easy enough for me to leave him too. So, you know, all that had happened, and after the windows and everything, the police were back involved. Like, there were several different, like, police reports and stuff were involved. And after he shattered, like, the bedroom window and the living room in the front, he ended up coming back. And one morning, like, I know I'm covered and protected, divinely guided and protected always, because this is just crazy even more. Like, I literally ended up, I was in the bathroom, right? And I guess he had came back. I don't know how he came around to my house, or if he was sleeping somewhere nearby or with a friend, because his friend somehow surprisingly lived near me and shit. And so, like, it gave him a chance. He came back, and he seen, like, because my bathroom, you know the bathroom windows where it's like blurred and it blurs out itself, but you can still see through it if you ain't got a curtain up there or something to cover it. That's how mine was. So he had came through one morning when I was playing music, and mind you, like, let me give you the scene of how this looks. So, like, my apartment managers and my maintenance people could not go ahead and fix my windows. They had to reorder the windows in order to fix them. And like, I had to wait. So I pretty much stayed with holes in my windows. Like, the remainder of the window was still there, but it was still a hole there. So my sister, like, thankfully for my sister, she came and helped me and, like, put up, like, some cardboard, something to hold it and stuff. But literally, like, you could still hear every move that I make in the house, and I could hear everything outside. So it left me in a very traumatic, very paranoid state all throughout my pregnancy. So imagine how my son, like, you know, my son is good and everything, but he's still kind of, like, you know, he was affected by that still. And this dude don't care about it at all. So, you know, he threw a rock one morning when he thought I was in the shower. I ran in the shower and I turned the light on because I was like, I'm gonna take a shower, you know. After all this stuff that happened, it's good to rinse all that off. What he ended up doing, he threw a rock through the window. And what ended up happening was the rock ended up landing in the tub and glass shattered everywhere, you know what I'm saying? He even, when I came back to my apartment, because I told you, so that night when he kicked out the windows, I never came back to my house. I didn't care if it was left open, none of that. I didn't leave with anything. I just left on foot. I ran while pregnant, almost about to give birth, to the sheriff's office. And then from the sheriff's office, they sent me to the paramedics, so they sent me to the hospital. From the hospital, I walked from the hospital, and I think I walked from the hospital while pregnant all the way to my mom's house. My mom got on my behind, why she should. And, you know, she kind of told me, like, basically it's my fault because I allowed back in, and he took from an inch to a mile because I was his doormat at that time, pretty much. And I, you know, allowed it to continue, but I was so wanting a family, so wanting to be in love, and I loved him so much. But it was like, I think I was loving myself, being able to love him, not really loving him. You know, the love that I felt that I had for him was the love that I felt and had for myself. I was just so overgiving and willing to give it out, wasting my energy and wasting my time. And so my mom drove me back to my place, and then I got the police involved. I went down there to the office to let them know everything that happened. And so I ended up not having to pay for the windows, and I'm so thankful I didn't have to pay for the windows. But you can see that he was a power tripping, power control, power tactic. Like, he was literally trying to get me out of my own house that I don't even have to pay for, but it's under my name. It's for me. It's not for him. And so since he wouldn't have a place to go to unless it was his friends or some other woman that, he could manipulate and use and prey on, by being a predator like that, then, it would just lead to going back to his mom and hearing, the nagging or however he would describe it and stuff. But that wasn't none of my business. Why would I care? That's his problem, He should have set himself up in a better predicament and stuff to, not have to do what his moms do. And, you're around 30, So, it was just like a lot of stuff that had happened. I didn't like it. I think his mom had came and she had seen everything he had did, and she was like, oh my God, and all this and that. But it's kind of like, she didn't really have much of a sympathy wise. It was just like, I'm in shock. You know what I'm saying? Or he wouldn't do that, or why did he do that? That he's not so good, My mom even drove to his mom's like braiding store, her shop, and even was like confronting and telling her what he had did and everything, and that it's best for him and I don't be together and all that type of stuff, which I would definitely like agree upon. Time passed, and it was a big, huge separation that he had caused. I think I had went ahead and put a restraining order on him and everything. I had put a restraining order on him prior, but he had allowed him to slip in and kind of like, he found me at a vulnerable moment, me being pregnant. I was still pregnant when the second one got in after the windows. So I went like up until like, let's say this happened in December. He kicked out my windows in November. This went all the way up until like June or July, like last year, not speaking to him. So I went ghost on him basically. And for the whole time, back to when I was talking about spamming on my business page, my website, always popping up. He was supposed to be like on a trip to like Africa and all that type of shit. He wasn't supposed to even be interacting with me. It was a order in place not to talk to me, not to engage. So he like basically was like, so since like I'm not bending to his will, I'm not listening to him, he wanted me to be afraid of him and all that, obviously kicking out my window, so all this crazy stupid shit. And like literally like what ended up happening, like I ignored him to the point of insanity. That way he kept spamming me my stuff. I just kept ignoring him. And then eventually after he came back from the trip from Africa, which he spent like a month in over or whatever, which I believe, I'm not really for sure, but people have told me like a lot of that money that I gave him, or people, I didn't give him that much, but who's not to say like he didn't save that up to use that and go on the trip to Africa with his mom and his sister and the family, you know what I'm saying? But it was what it is, and I had just had my baby, my son, so like after the trip, since he couldn't hear none of me, he thought he just showed up at my place unbeknownst and stuff, and thought I was gonna open the door. He left like bracelets on my door and everything, and I didn't touch them or anything. I left them. I called the police when he was out my bedroom window. It's just so stalkerish. It felt like a Element movie right away for me. And that's when reality set in. That this was crazy. This was like, it was just like unnormal. This stuff wasn't damn normal at all. So he was like standing at my bedroom window, and I could see him I didn't go in my bedroom, but I looked from afar at my bedroom door, and I see him. It was like calling my name constantly and came knocking on the door. I could feel like in his heart and his spirit, he got kind of aggravated and annoyed and stuff. Very, very annoyed and aggravated. Yeah, very annoyed and aggravated, and it was just crazy, but I held my composure and I held my baby while he was asleep. I was feeding him, and luckily he went ahead and went on to sleep because it allowed him not to hear and not to know that we were inside, you know. So my mom was around. I called my mom. You know, I'm so thankful for my mom. She kind of like kept him away and stuff. Made him get away from the house because he didn't see that coming. He always wanted to put me in a bad space, in a bad predicament, but he wasn't seeing it coming back to him that he was going to be in the same situation, even worse, for messing with me, because you don't mess with me. And so they ended up getting him because he ended up driving back to his mom's house, and I guess it was his mom's car, and I guess she ended up giving it to his sister. But you know, like honestly and literally, like, you know, he ended up driving back to his mom's house, right? And he thought he was in the clear, like he didn't get caught. He just was clean slate. Nobody seen him. Come to find out, the police were at his door and they arrested him, and he was in jail for a good amount of time. Not for long this time around, but he was let out on a $500 bail, which his mom paid for, I think, that time, yeah. And his mom had covered bills, like the whole court fees from like the last girl that he was with, that, you know, he said was cheating on him and didn't go well and all that type of stuff. So it's like mom is like the enabler and stuff, and I started to become an enabler too without even knowing it, or knowing, you know, feeding his bad behavior. And it's like, to this day, he knows like all this stuff that he did to me was very vicious and very wrong and very vindictive. He says all these things to make me look like the bad guy, but he was really the bad guy in the situation. His mom put up with his stuff and takes his stuff, and, you know, to some degree his mom may even be in fear of him. I know he tried to make me in fear of him, but it's like, you know, I try not to be in fear of anything or anybody, because what's the point? One person may think they're bad, but there's somebody bigger and badder than them out there. So, like, what is it? What is it to the point? So, yeah. So he ended up, his mom paid the bill, got him out, but they kept an ankle monitor on him. Because he deserved that freaking ankle monitor, like all that stuff. He still like has a grudge over me about that, you know, about the ankle monitor, and said that I ruined his life. But he ruined his life when he thought he was gonna F over me and get away with it. Like, how does the universe don't work like that. Like, you think about to F over somebody who didn't deserve it. All they ever did was try to help you, even if you didn't want the help. You still accepted it. It still was of use to you. You still allowed the person to do these things for you and accept the help and take advantage of them. So now, hey, the universe got something for you. And it's like he wasn't expecting that, but it's like that's what you get. It's like his mama must have grew him up to be like this person that never was wrong and always right in her eyes, or never could do no wrong. Even if he does wrong, it's no wrong. My son is this, my son is that, my son is everything, as if, like, I don't know, she needs that to cling on to feel satisfaction within herself that she's a good mom. But it's like, you know, it would have helped if, you know, I don't have much to do with the raising part, but it's like, if he was raised different, actually had his father in his life, things could have actually been different, you know, but it was a divorce and all that type of other stuff. But, yeah, he didn't have his dad had left him, mom, sister, the whole fam. So it's like, shoot, if he could leave him, I should be able to like leave him as well, so very easily. I don't know why it was so much a back and forth. It was like my mind being played with. And then me got so played so much, I started thinking that was normal reality, and it was not. It was not. It was not. And with all that being said, he got the ankle monitor on, and even with the ankle monitor on, he was still like subtly, privately. I had to report like the police like 10 to 20 damn times because he kept trying to reach out to me and stuff. And I kept telling my mom, because my sister kept telling everybody, anybody who would listen, like, I'm getting annoyed. He's in my dreams. He's in this. Like, they thought I was joking. They thought I was lying, but that is real. Like, come on now. Like, you cut somebody off and all of a sudden they're in your dreams. Like, they want to harness your energy. They want to be you. They want to take over you. If they don't want to be you, they want to control your body to get and manifest what they want in this universe, in this reality. But it don't work like that. You don't use other people. You don't, use other people to build that. You build that yourself. You know what I'm saying? So you can appreciate it more. And that way, like, people, can't take it from you. Because it's you. It's within you. It's not on you. So it's like, but he had the ankle monitor on and kept hitting me up. I can't even really remember how, but he ended up, we started meeting up with each other again. He started trying to like coerce me to, like, this point it had got really to the charges and stuff. But before I continue about the charges, I do want to insert something else. Before I was about to have my son, because he was posting like our sex like videos like on Twitter and stuff, and he was degrading me on Twitter, saying he ran through me, all this stuff, like saying all this stuff because I rejected him. I didn't want him, but he messed up. I didn't mess up. So why should I fix something I did not mess up? You did. And you're a man and you're older than me. So it's like you should hold yourself up to a higher standard to actually be the bigger person and accept your fate that you caused on yourself, lay in the bed that you made. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. That's like, and now looking back on it, like all the harassment, all the stalking and stuff had to been like him trying to get me to change his faith and his outcome of his life. But it's like karma's still gonna come and get you either way. You're gonna have to pay up some type of way, So, but before I was even about to give birth, it's like, cause I had to gather, evidence and everything for the case and stuff, but on his like page and shit, he posted like this girl that he was physical with recently. He posted like 2 videos of her and stuff, but this was like, I found this out around the same time that he had dropped flowers off at my door. And I think this was before he had an ankle monitor on and before he got arrested, yeah. But he had dropped some flowers off at my door and a card and saying, oh, he's sorry, he's gonna change, he wants to be a father, he wants to do this and he wants to do that. And like, how you gonna cause like separation between us by damaging my property, my home, my space, get me pregnant, then expect me to have you there at the birth and all that with all the legal stuff going on. And then also on top of that, it's like you cheated and stuff, all this infidelity, you with somebody else. It's like, how you gonna be dropping flowers off at my door and you recently was hooked up with somebody else new? Whether you want to stay with them, whether you find them attractive or not, or there was just something to ease your pain because you messed over a good one, a diamond, then it's like, it was like so much like traumatic, crazy, wild roller coaster stuff that I went through. But fast forward to like, after that, with the ankle monitor and stuff, we found ways to like still meet up, and it had got so far with like to the brink of this whole situation where it was like leading to charges and trial and him facing either like probation or like, which, yeah, he's on like probation even now, but it's like for 2 years. But other than that, it was more so like either that or he go to prison or jail or whatever. But he had already spent like a good amount of time in jail. So, yeah, he had got arrested or was about to get arrested because I did recently face an eviction though. And that's another thing. This is why it's so crazy, all this stuff that happened and important that I gotta get it out. I was starting to face eviction over here where I live at now. was waiting on like this governmental assistance to help me out and stuff until like I got back on my feet with everything. And so I was waiting on them. And so I kind of ended up meeting back up with him saying like, I didn't have this and that for, our baby, or, I just needed a little help with this and that. And, he seemed favorable, like he was interested. I had like some money left over I used to like get a U-Haul. So it was like in a U-Haul or whatnot, and everything. And we was like cruising and whatnot. And then eventually, like one night, we finally, we were supposed to actually drop off this U-Haul, and it was supposed to help us or whatnot, cause but we never really dropped it off, or we eventually did drop it off, but we didn't have any other type of like transportation after that, and we ended up kind of being without. But yeah, it was a lot. It was like a wild time and ride. I was on the verge of being evicted. I had a baby that I had to still like fend to take care of. While in the U-Haul, we did go around like to parks or to like the nicer neighborhoods. We to try to seek help or any type of way. We seek help from anybody. They helped us out a little bit. A person even like helped us like get like a hotel and stuff. So we stayed in a hotel, a really nice hotel. They had HBO, all the nice stuff. It was nice, big, luxurious king size bed or queen size bed. Like my God, they even had like a little cat mat or something, like a mat, like how they would have in pre-care, but like more like an actual bed for a baby. So my son was able to be on the bed and stuff. So I guess that was like an upside to like him coming back into my life, and maybe things are changing like a little bit or whatever. But it was like I feel like I was a driving force in like all this change and stuff. It wasn't really him or whatnot. But with the ankle monitor and stuff, he ended up getting caught eventually being around me with the ankle monitor, and he got like arrested with the sheriffs and stuff. He ended up staying in jail for like a good amount of days and stuff. And sometimes he talks about it in a good light, sometimes he talks about it in a bad light, but it's like, I don't really be knowing what to say about it, or what to say about it, or with it, or to him about it, to be honest. But yeah. And so I ended up still communicating with him from the jail, and I guess like trauma bonds or bonding or being codependency, like those things are a real thing. And I still was like, I sent him a care package. I still text him all throughout jail. It's like, he didn't even deserve that though. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? But it shows like how real or how honest I can be. But sometimes being so helpful, so honest, so real, so authentic to people who wouldn't even be authentic to you, that could be your downfall. So it's like I constantly kept reopening my own wounds that I was supposed to be trying to heal and cut them off completely. Which I take full responsibility for. No victim mentality over here at all. I accept everything that happened, and I'm glad that I was able to stand in front of, or sit down in front of this camera too as of today, and actually get this stuff off my chest, because I don't need to continue to hold on to it. What I need it for. Somebody else could like hear my story and it could help them out. Just know that if you're going through any type of like domestic violence situation, you're pregnant, you've been raped, anything like that, you can get out of that situation. You just have to be strategic and smart about it, to be honest, And you don't deserve none of that stuff, I didn't deserve it either, but I allowed it, continued, and that's what, I'm responsible for. Not taking heed to the red flags, or feeling off, or because it may take some time for people to catch on, like other people, or they learn differently and stuff. So you know what I'm saying. But yeah, So he ended up staying in jail, and I think his mom gave up on him, sister, just family overall, just kind of like forgot about him. And it was his mom and sister recently that had bonded him out yet again, but his sister had put towards some money for him. And I think all he could give her was like $5 in return for, I guess, like a 600. It was a $600 bond this time around. But it's like if he were to get in any more trouble, it'd be like 3,000 or 6,000. He'd have, like, somebody had to pay up the forefront unless like it's his mother or something like that. So yeah, it just is that my life is action packed. It's a lot. It's a lot to my life, and I don't care, and I don't mind to share it. And I think this is really a spiritual awakening right here. Another one. It's like you can go through several many, but it's like my eyes are like feeling very bright right now, and I feel very light in my spirit, light in my body. I feel free now that I've gotten this off my chest. And if you listen to these two stories times, thank you. Like, I can't even describe in words how much that means to me and stuff. But yeah, it don't matter what happens to you in life, as long as you know how to deal with it and how to respond to it, you're gonna be okay. And the end result of this whole situation is like I got so burdened down with becoming like a mom recently that like I don't know how to feel about what I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about trying to do parenting alone. Like, I've tried doing parenting alone and stuff, but I was like, it might be better if I did, kind of put everything that happened between him and I aside so he can be here to kind of help raise his kid as well. But I don't see him actually being that solid to raise the kid. Like, it would be better, like, it's two worse of the evils, either like be a single mom or kind of work with your baby father and stuff like that. Because he seemed to really not want to do child support and stuff. He don't want to have to pay up his money and stuff. But he's like really been talking heavily about putting up my kids for adoption, just because I'm saying, like, I'd like a break or I need help and stuff. He think like he wanted me to be burdensome down with a baby. He may say, oh, you open up your legs and stuff like that, but it's like you help keep them open. Like, you took advantage and you continue to take advantage. You took, you take, you never gave back. So it's like, I feel like as though, my child has been like missing their father or whatever, or missing that figure, or missing somebody in his life. Also, just not just me. And that's why I decided to go ahead and just drop like all the charges for everything that he has done to me. But I feel like I have healed from it, all the stuff that he has done. Don't know if I'm having second thoughts recently and even now if I should continue to keep the charges dropped, but I know I shouldn't be going back and forth with the law and stuff because it's going to come off as if I'm playing and stuff, and I'm really not trying to show off as that, but they'll think that. And so, it's kind of like one of them decisions I done made yet again. It's kind of like a life-changing situation, life-changing decision, but it don't have to ruin my life because I don't have to allow it to ruin my life. Even if I did have like all the charges dropped or whatever, there's ways that I can find other ways to not be affected by his energy and him, like literally, how you gonna like get me pregnant and expect me to raise and buy everything on my own, stroller, bed, car seat, mats, foods, diapers, all that stuff all by myself. And now all of a sudden you want to come into my life and do right and add and contribute, and you still doing the bare minimum. Like, I feel like he could never amount to the man that I deserve and the man that I actually want in my life. And I feel as though I should be able to go out more and I should go out more so that I can like come across who's meant to be in my life, and you know what I'm saying, and I can see face to face who this person is and they can see who I am, you know. It's not something like behind closed doors, now you see my true face, my mask done fell off. Like, I'm tired of like attracting narcissists, manipulators, abusers, users, people who like to control things. Like, I'm tired of attracting all these negative people and stuff. So like, I know I really gonna have to like work on healing, and I'm gonna have to really work on like setting my boundaries and stuff, and learning from my mistakes. And this helps me doing so by recording this and letting you know the mistakes that I made and the things that I have allowed. And I can always look back at this video and be like, okay, I know not to do that again. Or you could look back at this video and be like, okay, these are the tips or the things that she said not to do. So yeah, so I hope I edit this video really good so it reaches out to a good amount of people, because I feel like it is a story to tell, and it's a story that needs to be told, and it's something that I can get off my weight and my shoulders, because I've been such like I've been like so depressed and so burdened down and like cunt shoulders with being a new mom, being a parent and stuff, being primarily a single parent and stuff, with all the hassle and everything you gotta do. You gotta keep up with the house, you gotta feed yourself, you gotta clean up after your cooking, you gotta clean up after the baby and their eating and everything. Like, it's a lot. It's a full-time job already on its own, you know. And he likes to say like how I don't clean the house or I slack on the house and this, that, and the third, but it's like, you put me in a position, not to give him all the power and saying like he fucked up my life. It's like I allowed that, but it's like also to a certain degree, it's like, you're just gonna give me a baby, know that I have a baby and I gotta keep up with the baby, I gotta keep up with the house, I gotta keep up with cleaning the house, I gotta keep up with cooking, I gotta keep up with cleaning after cooking. And you're a full man, you're a whole male, you got arms and legs, you could be cleaning, you could be, you know, sitting maids, you could be like helping me out here, you're not just leaving me to do everything. And then I'm in my masculine energy, and then you got a problem when I'm in my masculine energy. Now you want to call me a trainee, now you want to call me a man, he even called me a witch before, like all types of shit. Like, you know, because I'm spiritual, he's more so like religious and stuff, and you know, I don't even know, but it's like, you know. So I'm really probably even gonna put this video on like a new account or a new YouTube, and I'm gonna continue my series of story times and just getting things off my chest or things that I've been through. And I'll have other videos, I'll probably even do vlogs, I'll probably just start a whole another YouTube channel. Cause also, let me add in too, I've been having to create new YouTube channels, change my whole business name, outlook, everything, because of this dude just constantly being obsessed, infatuated, and not letting me go. Not letting go of my energy, not letting go of my essence, not letting go of my presence, just me as a whole. Like you gotta cling on to me just for you to feel like you can manifest. Like, you're supposed to be manifesting on your own. So it's like, to be honest, like, he's still like around and I guess sort of helping me out with like my son and stuff, but honestly he's really not, because like even this morning it was like he kept giving him his tablet. His dad helped him give money for him to get a tablet and clothes and get his birthday items. He didn't do it on his own. My child's father didn't do that on his own. He asked his dad for money to literally help get him his did my son a tablet, 2 shirts, and some toy cars and stuff, but he kept giving him his tablet. He said he bet him like this morning. I guess I could probably attest and believe that, but it's like he left his like diaper on and all soggy and stuff, and it's like, why leave me with more work? If you say you can help and you're coming in to help, actually come in and help, not just talk to hear yourself talk or to make yourself feel like a good person, or with your like egotism and being very egotistical, just to stroke your ego. And yeah, it's like, you know, babies are enough work as it is, so I don't want to have no more babies with any man, or especially this man. I don't feel like I want to have any more babies with him. Like, to be honest, I'd rather just move on, start over, heal, start out my glow up, and work on myself. Because because all I have is myself and my child, you know. But after a while, my child's gonna grow up and have his own life. So right now, I need to be working on having my life and getting myself together while taking care of my child. Because he's still a responsibility. I take care of him. But I'm still a responsibility too, and I'm still a priority, and I don't need to neglect myself just because I'm a parent. And I know as tough as it can be, I shouldn't neglect myself because I'm a parent. I just need to uphold both of those, to uphold everything else, and that's okay. It's just life. It's something that I have to deal with. But as I show the universe more and more that I can deal with it, the more that I receive. I could receive even better man that actually love and cherish me and appreciate me, and not be okay with me struggling and stuff. And you know, he constantly says a lot of stuff. The baby father constantly says a lot of stuff to me and about me and stuff. Like recently and stuff, he constantly say he love me, but nah, he knows like I haven't been eating. I haven't been eating none like for months recently because like my whole thing, like my whole way of making money or having money has been kind of cut off for like months. So I haven't really been eating. I don't really have groceries at my house right now. None of that stuff. My baby, I made sure my baby has foods and everything he needs, but the money runs out when it comes to me and stuff. So I don't really have no job or no way of making money currently and stuff. But I'm working on trying to find ways of what to do. I want to post more content. I want to get my stories out there. I want to heal. I want to have like 1,000 subscribers and work up to 100,000 subscribers, up to 1,000,000. Like I want to be known for like being a motivational speaker, not allowing things that happen to me to affect me, but still knowing how to move and deal with the punches and the trials and tribulations of everything. So I accept everything that has happened and everything, you know. And to tie into the food stuff recently, even knowing that I've been struggling, that I've been light, and I've been like, he said like anorexic. He said like I was anorexic and all that type of stuff. I'm a naturally slim girl, but it's like that shouldn't be good if there's somebody you say you want to be your wife, you want to be your significant other, your partner and stuff. You're not gonna like make jokes of being anorexic or they looking anorexic, skinny, and all that type of stuff. It's like that's really a disorder. Like people struggle with that, so it's not something to talk lightly to somebody just because you don't like them or you hate them and all that, and grudges and everything. So you know, I feel like he has a grudge that I ruined his life because he got caught with me with an ankle monitor, but shouldn't have been around with me anyway. It's like so much of an obsession. Somebody can have so much of an obsession and infatuation on trying to destroy you, hurt you because they can't be you and shit, or you're not accepting them, you reject them and stuff, that they go so much trying to mess your life up. They mess up their life in the process of doing that, and that's what you get. Because why are you trying to mess over me? If he just didn't want me, he should have let me know. My mom had told me he didn't want me. My sister told me he didn't want me. As my mom was giving off the impression he didn't want me. He even said he didn't want me and stuff. But it's like his actions didn't exhibit that he was still trying to get at me because he felt as though he still had an open door to come in to have access to me and stuff. And I should have literally closed the freaking door, to be honest. Because he constantly takes and takes it from me. He feels like he owns me and all this type of stuff. You know, I wish there was a way that I could like start over and stuff, and get away if I could, you know, because I know this can't be healthy, you know, all the stuff that I went through and stuff. I never really went to therapy for, but I've been dealing with and trying to get out of the rut and everything. And he knows exactly what he did, because I'm like a life path 11. I'm like the one healer. So it's like I've came across a lot of people in this life where they tell me their life story, and I literally help them with it. And I helped him do that shit. Even though he attacked me, he took that shit out on me, I still helped him. And so after he went through the whole jail and the whole wake-up call to leave me alone and stop effing over me, it's like he started to realize, oh, like I've actually been there. But he always knew that. He always knew that. He's just one of people like, if I can get away with running over you, I will. And keep running and keep doing it. Or move on to somebody else who allowed me to do it to them. And it's like that's the type of energy that he he's so super superior, he's so this, he's so that, he's so everything when he's not, you know? I felt like I was in a dictatorship, not a relationship. And nobody should ever have to face that. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Because men will see a successful woman and then they'll try to come in her life just to only fuck it up or just to only, get her pregnant, but to leave her with the baggage of having to carry for all herself with that child. And the child don't deserve it, and the child has to be here, so it's like, I have to deal with that, you know what I'm saying? And they know that, you know what I'm saying? So it's very sickening how things can be, but I accept it for what it is. I'm a parent to a 1-year-old son, and yeah, regards to me and everything like that. And he's getting there to quality, he's learning and getting there. We're trying to get him there, and we're going to and everything, and that's what's up. I guess I could link my other socials and everything, all that. So yeah, I've been abused, used, taken advantage of, neglected, abandoned, from a lot of men. Not even a lot of men, just 2 men pretty much. Other men, but I got away from it and I let them go. I had the shit to let them go, so they're just a figment of my imagination, of my memory. And these other 2 gonna be too. The other one, that first one is definitely. He get brought up a lot from my baby father, because he's so jealous and stuff and everything. So yeah, even in those, so he got so jealous of that, being that the guy came. I wasn't expecting him to come to my place. He wasn't supposed to be at my place, but he popped up, so that shows how crazy things can get. But we got so mad in the motel. Like, I think after he was slapping up on me, he ended up punching his hand in there later on while we was there. So it's like, I don't know why people mess with me, because it's always gonna come back to them. It's like all I ever have done is been good to people, my family, lovers, all that type of shit, and they always just double cross me or something, or left me for dead or abandoned me. But I always came back on them like that. They're abandoned. Their people don't want to mess with them. Their people don't want to mess with them. They're going through turmoil. They're going through stress. Like, I feel like I've always been more spiritual than physical in any aspect or in any sense. But all this that I say has actually happened to me, and it's really true. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do moving forward, but I would like to move and start over again, like move into a new place and continue vlogging, continue telling my stories, and yeah, be making a brand, making a name for myself, put my business out there, and be more out there in the world. And yeah, and not having no fear, not having no regrets, and not being afraid of rejection. Because this is all this been is rejection, but it's gonna give me redirection to my purpose, to who I am, learning more about myself, being there for myself more, doing more self-care and everything. So, never take the positive nor the negative that you go through in life as like, oh, my life is over. No, your life just started, because you just equipped it new tools, as if you were in a video game and you had to reach a new level. You just equipped it new tools to get to the new level, and once you're at the top, you know how to act or know how to move in a room full of vultures and move better, So it helps to get played, because you learn not to get played no more. So I've been through it, but I'm ready for a new beginning. It's like I'm completely over this second situation. I'm getting over this second situation. It's like intimacy is not there. I'm not really feeling for my baby father no more, or even at all. It's like I'm completely over him, More kids in equation from him is like completely non-existent. Like, I don't really want to have no more kids with him. Just, I guess, co-parenting, but he seems like the type who's just gonna really try to aggravate me or always get underneath my skin, because I've always seemed smarter than him, or always had more money than him, or always was doing more than him, or something like that, or having more than him, when he could always go get it, and he's older, so it's like I'm younger. Like, videos are my videos. Sneaky link gone wrong, and you know, my baby father, the guy I was on and off for 3 years. So period. You know, a lot of drama, a lot of stress, a lot of turmoil, a lot of cries, a lot of ups and downs, you know, but good thing that probably came from this would be like my son and stuff. But other than that, and learning lessons and being more equipped, so when I engage with newer guys in the present and even in the future, I know how to move more accordingly and track what's more geared toward what I want more in my reality, because I am the creator of my reality. And I am done talking. I think that I said everything that I needed to say about that situation, and I'm glad I got out of my chest. I really want to say this might be going on a new channel, because I'm going to create a new channel, so I have a new platform that I guess my baby father don't know about, but if he finds out about this shit, I don't care. I'm like over it now, because I want to move on. I can tell that he's even tired of even trying to hurt me or cause me pain or get back at me and all that stuff. Like, all the stuff I'm pulling just out of him, out of him. Like, you know, so he has no choice. Like, he's one minute he love me, one minute he hate me, one minute it's a flip and flop. It's just all this like BS. Like, nobody want to deal with that. Like, I need a man that I deserve a man like who knows me, you know, who knows me and wants to know me better. You know, willing to know who I am and stuff like that, you know, and know me better and treat me good, pamper me, spoil me, give me princess, treat me, show me good shit, you know, because I'm ready to show myself good shit. Like, I'm trying to, like, break ties, get shit set up, and have shit right, you know, because this type of lifestyle that I've been going through and stuff, and I would say, you know, some of it may have to do with how I was raised, how I grew up and stuff, but now it's in my control to take over and make sure that don't happen no more, despite how I was raised and who I grew up with, you know. But yeah, it is what it is. You know, if you most likely go through a moment with an abuser while young, you're willing to attract abusers while you're older. But once you learn that that's what's going on, you can break free from that. So it's learning that you have a problem is the first step into identifying and fixing a problem. Accepting that you have a problem as well will help you learn to, hey, work to want to change. Then you find ways to change that problem, and then you put the actions towards that. You stay consistent with that, and you done, and you good. But anyways, I don't know what my name's gonna be for this new channel, none of that. But we're gonna blow up. We're gonna get to 1,000 subscribers, and we're gonna get to 100,000 subscribers. There's other things that I'm interested in, like wig installs, buying wigs, and also like makeup. He even talked about my wigs, like, you know, well, like 1 minute he'll say like he likes my natural hair, right? And then like he'll say like I think like a night ago or so, like he said like, oh, I don't like your wigs, like you be having these ugly ass wigs, you spend all this money on these ugly ass wigs and stuff. And I'm like, well, if wigs make me fucking happy, it don't matter how my hair looks. If you like my hair in its natural state or not, it's about what I like, because you're not in my body. That's not your vessel that you're utilizing. So if I learn to buy wigs, then I could buy wigs, you know. Then I'm pretty sure there are many men out there, a billion men out there, one of them men, several of them men willing to give me money to get as many wigs as I would like, and to pay for it install, to have me sit in somebody's chair, to make me feel good, to feel good and look good for and about myself, period. So, yeah. I done been through a lot. A lot. So, yeah. None of these stories are for sympathy. None of these stories are for, it's just not. I'm not a victim. A lot of times the way people treat me or treat you or treat anybody is because of themselves. It's about how they feel about themselves, what they don't like about themselves. And if you look like something they would want to be, they'll attack you just because they can't be that. Or they try to be that, but it don't work for them. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. And I don't want to hold up all day on here with this story or this conversation, but thank you for listening. Thank you for hearing my story, and hopefully you can take heed on it. And when to let go, because I'm feeling like I'm letting go, and I have let go, because I don't feel the same, and I can't, like before I couldn't go, like I guess like a day without bringing it up. Now it's like, this day moving forward, after I've dropped this video, I'm not talking about it really no more, unless he brings it up or something like that, which he really won't. But it's like, I'm clearing my hands from this. Whatever happens, happens. My son will be alright, as always. He'll be okay regardless. And, yeah. And last insert, like, he never wanted a family. He never wanted the baby. He never wanted me. It's just he wanted something to cling on to, something to use as a punching bag, as a therapy doll. Something to have to make him look better when he don't even feel better or feel good about himself. Like, what type of mentality is that? You know what I'm saying? So, just like, I guess the down low men would have a woman to cover up that they're down low. He's doing that to masquerade his trauma and how fucked up of a person he is actually on the inside by having me around. And he brought his friends around to make it seem like, And his friend one time, his friends like be talking shit, and then one time his friend like over the phone was telling me, oh, he a good man, don't do this, that to him. No, if he was a good man, then it wouldn't have been no issue with the law with the first girl. There wouldn't have been no issue with the law with me. But I feel like honestly to this day that I was his karma. It was like meant for us to cross paths. So ain't no way I'm still trying to come back, and then he's getting in worse and more turmoil and stuff. Because the universe will set it up like that. Oh, you thought you keep on with this same mentality. You did this to this woman, got away with whatever. You think you can continue. It's like, no. So, think even though he got out of that law stuff, he's still like, he's still not out of it. He's still like a 2-year probation and stuff like that. If he were to get into something else, it's jail or it's like prison or whatever, and throw away the key. But, yeah, so, and I feel like even now he mocks like, yo, that the law is not involved, but still is involved and stuff like that. And, he mocks the fact that he cheated while I was pregnant, about to give birth to his son, and I had to give birth alone. I was alone all through my pregnancy. He mocks that. He knows. He just comes into my place or into my home and just lives rent-free, utilities free, all that free food, all that. Eat up all the food for me. Don't leave me with nothing. I could cook it, and he'll eat it all up for me. It's like just a very used, like possessive, controlling, toxic dictatorship. Not even a relationship here. And yeah, he knows what he's been doing. So he knows what he's been doing. He's really been showing his truest character, his truest essence, and I'm all here for it. You know what I'm saying? Because the more that you do, the more that I'm less attracted to you, the more that I reject you, the more that I don't want you, and the more that you'll be gone. You'll get so tired and fed up that you'll ghost yourself. You'll remove yourself, and that's all that I want. That's all that I need. I deserve that. I deserve peace. I deserve to, in this lifetime, like I deserve a man who actually love and care for me, who won't come in and do the same thing that these other boys have done, because I'm not finna tell them none of that, and I'm finna act like, yeah, I've been spoiled all my life. I've been good. Men treat me good and stuff like that, like, because that's what I want to attract. I don't want to attract the stuff that been coming across because of childhood trauma and stuff like that. I'd rather heal and like not accept anything that come close to that. I'm gonna set boundaries. That's the problem with me. Like, I don't set boundaries, and it has shown. These are the type of situations that will transpire and occur if you don't set boundaries. You just met this person, don't go to their house, don't let them come to your house. Have them take you out. If they can't take you out on a date, they can't take you somewhere, y'all meet up somewhere, they're not for you. Cut them off, X them out. Don't like them, block them, get rid of them, because it'll lead to situations like this that I've went through. You don't deserve that. You don't need that. So take it from me being 20 years old, and yeah. Now if I go into anything, I'm seeking for marriage. I'm seeking for long term. I'm seeking for a healthy thank you for watching this, and thank you so much for hearing my story, because I feel like it's worth being heard and worth being told. Because people constantly lately, my baby father, been constantly in my ear just bashing me like, oh, I'm stuck on, what happened with infidelity, cheating, and I'm insecure and all these types of things. But, bashing in my head what constantly happened, and yeah, he did it, and rubbing in my face, and da da da. And then I have this time where he switched, well, you're depressed, and you helped me do your stuff, now I'm here to help you do your stuff, but he's not really helping me, and I don't need him to help me do trauma, I don't need him to help me do depression, I don't need him to help me through and get closure, because he caused the depression, he caused the, and I allowed it, and I allowed it. I'm repeating that so you know that I know, but it's like, also, it's like, he caused the depression, he caused the trauma, he caused me to get that, so it's like, how is the person who caused it gonna help me out of it? That don't make sense. I didn't cause his pain, I helped him out of his pain though. And he know that I was good to him, he know that I did a bird. He said that he regrets it, it be on his mind all the time, and he hates when I talk about it, bring it up. It's like, you should expect that, because you effed up. How you think you're just supposed to come back up in here now and I'm supposed to forgive you? I'm supposed to just let it all go easily? You should work to be back in my life. I shouldn't let you back in my life easily, especially if you're the one who fucked up and you're the reason why you're out of my life. You deserve to be out of my life then. Thinking I'm supposed to be brain genius and read his mind and do all these things where I'm like, no. People see your power, people see your magical, people see your unicorn, and they want you to take all your light and your shine and sprinkle it on them and use it for them and help them manifest and use into this existence. Hell no. Like, no. So, yeah, I hope you don't mind the cursing and the slurs that I said in this video. But yeah, I had to get all this stuff off my chest, because this is an act and art of therapy and just getting stuff out of your chest. I'm not seeking sympathy or anything. It's just to get off my chest. So, thank you for watching this video, and thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. I feel lighter in my spirit, and I feel better. And I bet you from this day forward on into my life, I affirm that none of these situations or any of these situations in my life will hold me back anymore. I will no longer think about these situations. There'll be a thing of the past, a thing that no longer affects me. If anything, I use it as reference to prevent me from further experiencing any more of that. And I take it with a grain of salt, and I learn my lesson, and I just keep moving forward. And yeah, I appreciate y'all a lot. And thank you so much. And I'm not sure, but if you're pro-choice and you're willing to help me out, I would appreciate if, I guess I could start a GoFundMe or something, and you could help me out with getting about like 500 or something, or even like even more, just to like get like an abortion started, because I did end up getting pregnant again. I'm not sure why he continuously keeps getting me pregnant like this, but it's like, I told him how much it's hard with the one that he already gave me. It's difficult just being a parent in general, but he doesn't care, because this is what he wanted. He said, he all of a sudden now says he wants a family, he wants kids, he wants all this stuff, but it's like, no, you never really truly did though. Like, so, and I don't think it's safe to have any more kids with him, or just, to do all that, because he left me several times with the kid that I had. Like, he would go and break down, he can't handle life, life's too much for him, all that, keeping me in my masculine energy, having to do everything and provide for a kid and him. It's like, that's too much, and I had to deal with that for 3 years, so my mind, like, is wiped out, like, off, like, so it would help if you could cash out, I could lay my cash out, PayPal, like, all my payments and payment options, and GoFundMe, and you can, like, send whatever you can to help me, like, with getting an abortion and, like, moving forward with my life away from this individual and this person. It would be helpful. either way, I'm gonna still try to do what I can on my own to minimize the type of contact that I have to with him, because he's still like, the parent of the child as well. So it is what it is. But yeah. And I don't think he really even came back, honestly, to help with the kid. I think he came back more so to get the child taxes from my child that I gave birth to. Because he was looking and itching for that money so much and stuff, but he couldn't find it and stuff, or it wouldn't approve him for that. So yeah, he's saying all this stuff, how he's gonna come in and do all this stuff and be this good person, and he don't want to give up on it because he's like really that attached. But that's what he gets. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he did love spells on me, all types of crazy stuff, like pretty just crazy lunatic type stuff, lunatic person, just too much, energetically, spiritually, all levels, and yeah. So I'll leave all my links and stuff down below, other social medias, ways that if you're willing or wanting to help me out, because I haven't been eating correctly either and stuff, and to help me like with this abortion if you're pro-life and stuff, because I'm not sure if I'm trying to keep this other baby or like if I'm even equipped to, because it's been so hard with the first one. But I bought his car seat, his stroller, everything, bed, everything, the baby that I have, I bought everything for him that he already has, like, on his own. Only thing is the father could do is like little shirts and stuff, but that wasn't even his money, it was his father's money. God's father to pay for that tablet and stuff that he has, so I've been doing all of it. And if I've been doing all of it this long, because God ain't gonna give you nothing that you can't handle, then I know I can handle it. Continue handling it and doing it on my own with the one that I have, but I'm just not sure about that second one. So if you could help me, anything that could help would be perfect, yeah. And I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I'm definitely gonna continue to make content, vlogs, getting my hair done, stuff like that, anything, aside from these heavy behind stories and stuff. But now they actually, once it says stories, they actually feel like stories. Like I have to accept it, move past on it, find ways, know that this was a problem, it is a problem, and find ways to distance myself, and be cordial. I'm not bitter, I'm not resentful, I'm not hateful, I don't hate them or nothing like that. It's just, I know where I stand with people. Once you know where you stand with people, you know how far you can trust, how much you can trust somebody, how far you can throw them, then you keep them where they at. And you can minimize what you talk about, you minimize what you do with them and stuff. And he just carries this big, heavy energy like I owe him something, and I don't owe him nothing at all. It wasn't my fault for the ankle monitor. It wasn't my fault for him getting the ankle monitor on, because he shouldn't have been kicking my windows and doing all this stalkerish crazy stuff. If I am going to jail, that was his fault that he got caught up with me. He knew he shouldn't have been with me. I shouldn't have been with him, I take responsibility there, but it's like, everything comes to end. And if you're doing something and the energy that you're putting into the universe is negative, you're gonna get negative back. If what you're putting in the universe is good, then you're gonna get good back. So I guess I'm really like on my spiritual journey now, that I've actually came forth and I've actually was vulnerable enough to say these things that happened to me and not be in a victim mentality. So yeah, it is what it is. I did this for another video on another channel, and I barely even talk about the scenario, what happened with neither the person, and the person's gone and away, So keep that in mind. Always find an outlet for your trauma, because that's where you'll find your gift at. It won't be me just posting these videos of these stories and shit, but it'll be more so like, I post those, got that out. Now I post my passions and things I like. And I want to keep this YouTube channel, like I want to keep this other YouTube channel away from like my baby father. If he finds it out on his own. But this one I want to keep for him, so I have privacy and stuff, because I've always, like, he knows everything. Like, I can't keep nothing away from him. It's like a very toxic, possessing, controlling dictatorship, literally. It's not even a relationship. And I take full responsibility for my part in allowing it and continuing to allow it and not really seeing the red flags, being naive, stupid, and dumb. I take full responsibility and I'm ready to break away from that. And it all starts with me and I'm willing to change that. And here's the start of it, letting it all go and letting it all out. So I'm ready to move forward and move on. And I hope you are too with me as well after hearing all this stuff. But yeah, thanks. I always wanted to relocate from this place too, because he knows where this place is and everything, and he knew where the last one is. It would be nice just to start over, because with these type of people and how they are, it helps to start over. It's just financially wise and how everything is going, it's not as easy to. But yeah, you know, I feel like I've been raising a kid all on my own, and now all of a sudden he just want to come in and help, as a way to feel like he's saving the day, or I need him, or it shows like I need him, so he can go telling people he did this and that for me, Out of all I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna go. Out of all the 3 years that I have constantly provided food, shelter, free rent, free lights, electricity, all that for him, all he can do is come back. And he went like grocery shopping recently, but all he spent was like, I think he said 100 or something, not even 100 or 200 some dollars. But he only bought like 2 things of like the dough cookies. You just make them in the oven. The dough's already settled. 1 bag of like Domino nuggets, and then like 1 pack of like burritos. And like we only ate like 3 to 4 chicken tenders last night, and he only gave me like 1 cookie, but yeah, he was over there eating like 3 or 4 cookies at a time. Like, he only gave me 1 cookie and then he went on to sleep. Like, what? Before he didn't even have no jobs at all. Now he got like jobs, and I guess he's really trying to like be different, but it's like, I'm not interested. Like, you can F over somebody so bad, they no longer want to have nothing to deal with you. They don't care if you're successful or not. It don't matter if you got money or not, if you're ready to be a father or not. I've been having to be mom and dad for 3 years, like, for up to a whole year of him being 1 years old now. So what is helping you? What is it helping, And yeah, it's just not becoming. It's just, he's not helping really. He's not helping at all. Only reason why he's up underneath me now is because like I'm getting help with my rent getting paid and my utilities, so he finds that it's good that he can mooch off me and leech off me and be here while he go make money, and then it save up and then he can leave. But it's like you're still coming up off of somebody. He think that's the way to live. Like, he done this with his friends think his friends, he think his friends is like, his friends think his friends is all for him, but it's really not. You talking shit about behind his back about his friends, like how they got all their stuff together, but he don't. But you around them because you can benefit off of them, you can get this off of them, you can get that off of them. Like, them type of people, like the dictatorship, overachievers, they'll just F over anybody. Those people ain't safe for nobody. Ain't safe for nobody to be around them, like, real talk. So, shit crazy. It's wild. But, yeah, I think that's, like, all that I really gotta say, though. And, like, he always constantly hid his phone and stuff. And he would never want me to touch his phone or get on his phone. I asked him about his phone. He gets super defensive about his phone. Like, what do you gotta hide? He like literally like will go look at bitches' profiles in front of me, like bitches' profiles and shit. Say it ain't nothing. Say I'm insecure. Say I'm talking about imaginary bitches. Like, women's intuitions are stronger than a motherfucking man. Like, women are strong. Like, it takes a man to need a damn woman to actually pursue a dream. Not to say that he can't pursue a dream without a woman, but with a woman's support, it makes it flourish, it makes it go farther. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Like, I'm so over it though. I'm so over it. And it's like he lied a lot as well. Lie, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. He felt very entitled to me, my body, my mind, my everything, and he never did that thing for me. If he bought a little something of food, it's not groceries, it's not amount. Like I used to keep the fridge stocked. It don't matter who paid for it. He always got to say government this or assistance this or assistance that. It's like it don't matter. It don't matter. Cause I had grew up honestly in foster care, so it's like my life kind of got set up like this. So it's like, you know, I can't change nothing about it. So yeah. He liked to toss that in my face, the government. She like tossing the foster care. My parents didn't want me, all that type of stuff. But you don't even know my parents. You don't even know me. Peace long, you know. So yeah, he's weird. He say I'm weird and I'm this, that, and the other. He made a couple pointers about even like being on the down low, being gay. Like he'd rather be with his male friends or have like relations with his male friends just to not be with me. All types of stuff, like just weirdness. Like I probably resemble his mom in certain traits. So he tried to attack his mom through me, but he ain't ready to go up to his mom and go off on his mom or his sister or anybody. You know, he wanted to take it out on women that ain't got shit to do with his life. They ain't got shit to do with him, really. But, you know, that's him. I don't care. And I'm getting to the point where I really just don't care. Like, I'm not vibing with him. I don't really feel a connection. If anything, it's short-lived. It's like a short little fuse. It's like a short little flame. All flames go out eventually. So... yeah, this wasn't like a twin flame. This wasn't a soulmate. This was more so like a karmic connection. And I doubt it'll ever amount to anything more than that. It's like he literally probably gonna have to live with the fact that he lost me. And he caused it. You know what I'm saying? Like, he be getting mad at me and all types of stuff and saying all types of stuff, and I be like, you just love me. Like, it's not that you love me like you could love me properly, but it's like deep down you know you the F over a good person that you probably actually loved at some point, because I melted his heart that much. But it's like you was fighting your own demons and then having your demons fight me and on me and all that, and you know, that's why it's so important. Like, it gave me like different like diseases because he was fucking with this other like girl or whatever, and then that girl was fucking with another man, like, so it ended up being like a disease he caught and transmitted me. Been to the doctor so many times, caught multiple diseases, caught cheating, all types of stuff. Like men will show you like literally that they hate you, they don't fuck with you, so you just have to take heed. You have to take heed. It's the signs are there, you know. So, cause they'll put it on the front and a mask all day. They'll even do a lot of effed up, stupid behind stuff just to get your attention, cause they know they done effed up. They know they effed up. So they'll say a lot of stuff, do a lot of stuff. Like your face as you, like it should bother you. Like, no, don't flinch, don't be in fear. He just know he messed up, he effed up. And it's like he wanna come back now, but no. So, yeah. But, yeah.